Aaron is notorious for asking people to work for free, which goes against everything Heath Ledger's Joker stood for.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
The same can be said for actor Gene Freeman, who Aaron asked to do camera work for free in exchange for exposure. But Gene Freeman could care less about getting exposure from Aaron. I mean, we will talk about that and a whole lot more during his interview. First thing I want to know is, why are you choosing to come forward?
I've been watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, and your story came across ever so slightly. I feel like it was one of those things like where fate kind of aligns. You know, it's like, you know, because you work in this business long enough, and you know, a lot of times they try to get over on you with shit. You know, paying dues, people like, you know, they really play on your heart to get you to do stuff for free, or you know, they'll try to use some credibility and be like, hey, well, you know, you should do this for me just because. And so when I watched one of your stories, it kind of triggered me. And I was like, that motherfucker did the same shit to me. He sat there and said, just because it's me.
In Hollywood, it's not uncommon for people to exchange services for a low rate. Each person would lend a helping hand to help another person do their project. But fan film Aaron, in Bat in the Sun's prime, he had a reputation for asking people to work for free, and in some cases pay actors as little as $100 a day for a 12-hour shoot. Okay, so how did you meet Aaron? Like, how did y'all paths cross?
I believe it was a mutual friend, because I also do like a lot of camera work. Anyone who knows me, aside from like working in front of the camera, I also do a lot behind the camera. So, you know, it was like shooting content. So somebody said, hey, I think he needs some content shot in this comic book shop. And he's like, and so I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll talk about it. Let me get his information and hit him up.
How was it working with him? Like, what was your role? What product did you work on?
Working with him, he had a lot of ego. Again, the initial conversation, because I get paid for what I do. I don't believe in just like, you know, my mother, my father told me, hey, look, you can do stuff for free, but remember, somebody cut them lights on for y'all to be working, okay? Someone's getting a check. And so when he initially talked, we talked, because I seen Bat in the Sun, I seen a lot of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I loved it, you know, be a part. And he was just like, he gave me this like really low ball price. It wouldn't even, I think it was like shooting for like 4 hours. I was gonna shoot it. I didn't have to edit it, but it was like a lot of shooting and running and gunning. It was just me. It wasn't 2 camera setup. It was just me doing everything. And I was like, hey, I'll give you this price. And then he was like, price? Literally like that. He was like, price. It's like, people normally want to do stuff for me because it's me. And I was like, well, good for them. Bravo. This is my rate. And, you know, so I told him my rate. He said, okay. He was a little reluctant about it, but he did it. And
though on the exposure thing, though, a lot of times when you work with people of big followings, you want that exposure. That is more valuable than, you know, a couple $100.
In 2025, it's well known that you can't pay bills with exposure. I mean, have you seen the views on his YouTube channel? Like, really looked at him?
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Also, Aaron has not been tagging collaborators. He constantly reposts Kevin and Tatiana's work and won't even type their name in the description. Keep in mind that Aaron has also made promises to people like Joe Burrow for acting roles and countless others that have not come to fruition. Also, in some cases when he replaces you, not some, but most cases when he replaces you, you're not going to be told about it. If he can convince someone with a bigger audience to join his beatdowns than you who are currently casted, then you're out.
And so I got there to the comic book shop and I forgot which one it was. And so I'm just setting up, figuring out where the sweet spots are, getting content. And, you know, he didn't really speak. You know, it was like, oh, now that I'm paying you, you know, it felt like that. I was like, fine, as long as it clears at this point, I don't care.
Okay.
All right. That was the energy. It was just like, you're the hired help right now. You're not a collaborator. This isn't, everybody else was cool, but yeah, like his dad was cool. But, you know, even with the DIT, like giving him the footage, that was so weird. I've never had like, cause him and his dad came over to get the footage. And it was just like, you know, you're trying to talk to somebody, especially if you're in your space for like, he's going to be in my space for at least like 2 hours. And, you know, hey, he's trying to, you know, get a bot, nothing. Like, it's very weird. Yeah, but his dad, cool as shit. I was like, I don't know, maybe you dropped him, maybe something happened. in the midst of the process. But yeah, he's definitely different. Like, he's the dad that plays the cool role. Like, oh, hey, you good, da 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 da. Like, he was super talkative. Aaron, yeah, I could have been talking to a mannequin. And
oh my God.
It would have been the same vibe.
Okay. With that being said, I have to ask, because I've asked everyone this, would you work with him again?
Not for free.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I tell you what, but I don't think I would now, though. All jokes aside, I don't think I would now, because again, like how he treated my friends, and like how he tried to do Sean, shit like that. To me, I couldn't rock with someone who would do that. Because if you do that to them at that level, I know what you would do to me, and I was just holding the camera for doing some comic book stuff. So I already know what no.
Sources revealed that Sean and other Bat in the Sun collaborators vouched for Aaron, which resulted in him getting a role on Salvage Marines despite being passed up for the director position. This would be a grave mistake, as everyone would come to regret it when they learned, or it was proven, that Aaron was there just to cause chaos. Allegedly, according to my source, Aaron came up with a moderately known actress to set up Sean Piccinino for sexual misconduct on set, but an investigation ruled that no sexual misconduct ever took place. Aaron was still so desperate to try to get Sean fired from the project so he can direct it himself. I was told he sent a scathing email to at least one of the producers along with a demo of his director's reel, which, is like, what? Just beat downs. He is, a one-trick pony. If you've seen his content, like, it's a bit dated at this point, and I can't see him getting any better over time. Aaron recycles the camera angles, and his effects, he recycles those too. Still, no one was moved by it, but his antics was likely a contributing factor for season 2 being canceled. Yeah, he's rumored to be ruthless behind the scene. He'll have this, peace and positivity up front, but then behind the scenes is something completely different.
Yeah.
What have you thought of my coverage so far? I know you kind of touched on it, and you said it kind of aligned, but was there anything that I brought up that was kind of shocking to you, or like, oh my goodness, you didn't know this, or something that you did know that you were surprised that I was aware of?
You know what? Actually, I have to say, you're one of the few people who will do their due diligence from learning the first and last name of the person. There's so much content out there where I'll be like, what? That's not the name. You like made sure you knew everything from the guy in Russia who did all the special effects. Like, I remember hearing about him and I was like, he's handicapped and everything. Like, but he makes these amazing, elaborate things, and yet he's not getting really anything. Like, it doesn't surprise me. Again, it goes with, people telling you, hey man, you need to get on board and join the vision just to be a part. And all you get is likes and exposure. Meanwhile, this person is capitalizing on money, views, all of that stuff. They're eating, they look great. You're over here starving, laying on your bed, barely getting sleep. And, and hearing like how amazing he was, hearing about what happened with Tatiana in the beach. Like, I heard it, but to hear it again, I'm just like, he's really getting the meat. I felt like the way you're going about it, if we have more people like this, you won't have so many people who try to pull fuck shit in the business. It won't be worth it, because every time I come on YouTube, and I come on a lot because I do a lot of learning from like a lot of my projects, I see the content that you have, and it's so consistent. It's so consistent. And it's not like the same thing regurgitated. Like, a lot of people will regurgitate the same thing and just put it different spaces. It's like, oh shit. Damn. Let me get a Red Bull real quick. Let me crack it. Let me tune in, because this is my man getting it in right. Let me get that tea real quick.
Wow, man, Gene, man, you throw me way off with this, man. I was not expecting any of this.
Hey, man, that's how I like it, man. It's fate.
I'm happy that you did speak up for Sean, because not too many people were speaking up for Sean Piccinino. What compelled you to just call him out so boldly, Aaron? Now, you don't have to shed light on what Aaron did, but the fact that you drew attention to, hey, like, yeah, he did do Sean dirty. What motivated you to do that?
Because Sean is always been a good dude to me. He's had me work on projects here and there, and and Skip, take out the projects, take out the films, the television, just a good dude. Like, he's never come across to me as someone that you should take advantage of, that you should use as a stepping stone or just taking advantage of him. Like, I didn't like that. And, he's looked out for me. Like, he's the one who made me an international, going out and filming overseas. When other people talked about doing it, he did it, and didn't shortchange me, didn't make me feel any kind of way, was a straight up dude, has always been a straight up dude. We got other stuff, in the future. So it's just like, if Michael B heard something about Ryan Coogler, he would say something.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
That's how I feel. Like, Sean, Tatiana, like those people, like I know them. They're not, I'm going to say something. And if somebody think that Billy badass enough to try, you see, the movies are different than real life. SmackDown don't have a cut in it. Look,
Gene said he want all the smoke.
Hey, I came out the smoking section.
Oh my God. Any message you would like to send to Aaron right now? Anything? Because he's going to watch this. He's going to see it.
Yeah. Hey, man, you just got to do better. You never know who the person is. Like when he used to say about PAs and shit, becoming like the next studio heads, you don't know. You never know. You never know. And just do good business. Like, because it was like they make really good content, but it's like, it's not going to be that if all that other stuff behind it. Yeah. It takes away. Like, I can't enjoy this when I know that. I can't rock with you if you're going to talk. Because if you'll talk about this one, you're damn sure going to talk about me. And who want to be around somebody like that? You gotta do better, man.
This is true.
Just do better.
Through my investigation, I've proven that Aaron is notorious for creating smear campaigns to hurt people's reputation and, in the worst cases, their career. This was confirmed by Tatiana when he launched a smear campaign calling her evil. Since Aaron was exposed for speaking on Kevin Porter's sexuality, instead of taking accountability, he has resorted to throwing shade on Kevin Porter's morals and ethics as if he is some high moral authority. Notice how Kevin said nothing about Aaron, but Aaron is trying to villainize Kevin anytime anyone asks about him. If Aaron would turn on Kevin, then that should let you know that nobody is safe. Now, what message would you like to send to those who he may have wronged that have yet to come forward, or maybe on the brink of coming forward? What would you like to say to those people?
I hope you're healing. I hope it didn't taint you from being in the business, and speak your piece. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. Because here's the thing. If we stay silent with this type of thing, the next person who was unable to speak up is going to be taken advantage of. Probably made way worse than you would have if you would have said something. You know what I'm saying? Like, something happened to me. I'm going to speak on my situation. Why? Because I don't want the next person to deal with that same thing or get taken advantage of, where they don't get the money they should get, or get the notoriety they should, or just respect. We're all human beings. Like, you're not better than me. And I think the people that were done wrong, I think this is a great opportunity. Like, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of stuff, and to get it out and to know that you're not alone, and to know like it's present even today. Because some people are like, man, that was so old, man. How long ago that was, man? Why are you tripping on that?
Because it's still happening.
Yeah, it's still happening. It just didn't happen to you today. It's still going on. People still do that publicity thing that exploits your talents. Oh, you got to pay your dues. That's bullshit. No, you got to pay me. That's what you got to. That's the due you got to pay. Because whether I work or not, SAG be like, hey, that on November, your stuff is due. You got to pay some type of due somewhere. And people, and the stuff that we are creating and we sacrifice for, we come from different areas, different nationalities, to come in this one place and be crazy enough to believe this is going to work, and then you're going to fuck somebody. Like, why?
Okay.
Life is already hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got families, you got people. Like I said, we couldn't even do this until the kids was asleep.
I know.
Oh, traffic. You know what I mean? Like, we out here sacrificing. Nobody got time to hear, hey, man, I got 2.3 million off of this deal. What? I'm over here eating ramen and you over here. No, you will not be OnlyFans as getting it. No, that's not fair.
Yo, you are cooking right now.
Hey, man.
Last question. Any advice to someone looking to get into the industry?
Know your worth. Know your worth. Know your worth. Know your craft. Don't just think you know it all, but know your stuff. So when it's time to really break bread with people, you ain't just eating crumbs. You can make yourself a sandwich, and know that you should have a full meal. But again, know your shit. Like, know your shit. Don't settle for that. Oh, hey, man, you got to fake it. Let me use up all your talents and you just get exposure. You get some likes. No. Brent does not get paid off my likes. No, they get paid off my views. That I also can get start learning about business. My parents were advocates. We owned a comic book store. There was a business side to it. Yes, my mama loved comics. A Black woman in the early 80s and 90s with comic book store, that's unheard. She was the first person to do it, but she still knew the business. You got to know your business. You got to be able to know your rates, know where you're at, knowing how much what you're willing to compromise, finding that common ground. Like my man and Ryan Coogler said in the movie, numbers talk. Know your numbers. Know that language. Know your stuff, know your art, learn the craft, and be honest and be bold, and be respectful. But don't let nobody punk you. Just because they did a video and it got viral, that doesn't mean they're better than you. Just because they did a $1 million movie, that doesn't mean they're better than you. I think a lot of people, we get caught up on a lot of that stuff, and they'll use that. Like celebrities and people who see themselves that way, they'll do that. So see yourself the way you need to be seen and how you want to be treated. I only go where I'm honored, loved, and reverenced. Period. That's on set. That's in life. And I think if you have that same mindset, you'll go far.
God damn, man. All right, man. It's too powerful, man. That was great. Look, I know there are so many people left that Aaron has wronged that have yet to come forward or speak on their experience with him. If you are holding out because you think that Aaron is going to make you famous, I don't think that's the case. Ask yourself, right? Take a look deep down. Who has risen through the ranks of acting because they got noticed on a beatdown project, let alone has thanked Aaron for anything outside of teaching them how not to act?
I would say at one point you wanted to be a real filmmaker. At one point when you were young, you cared about what you were making. At one point when you were young, you cared about the people who helped you make what you were making. And somewhere along the line, you stopped caring. You started caring more about the clicks, more about people talking about you. You started caring more about putting money in your pocket and buying that house with that really pretty girlfriend/wife than you care about the work that you put in and the work that other people put in to make your vision come true.